If I had to lose to anyone here, it'd be you.
The Total Drama franchise comes with, well, drama, but in more ways than just the obvious. From Total Drama Island to Total Drama Action, each series is filled with mistakes, whether that's in the animation or continuity, that you've probably never picked up on before. Number 1. Varied recovery times. The Total Drama franchise is made up of cartoon series, and we all know that cartoons don't follow the same rules as real life when it comes to injuries. But in this specific franchise, injuries and their recovery times are super inconsistent. For example, we have Cody, who explains his healing process in the episode Haute Couture as one that took some time.
Who, me? Ow, 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 ow.
But then we have Trent, who suffered a critical injury in extreme torture and is completely fine the next episode. Or Heather being totally fine in the next scene following her Rapafui fail. Number 2. Mixed memories. We've all lied a time or two about how our dating lives were going, but usually the lying is a way to make it seem more impressive than it actually is. Well, the opposite is true for Owen. Or the writers threw continuity out the window for this scene. In Camp Castaways, Owen says he's never been on a date with a girl.
We're gonna die! And I've never even had a date!
But we all vividly remember when he went on a date with Izzy back in Hook, Line, and Screamer. Does he not remember the movie? Or Late Night Walk in the Woods that was not so romantically interrupted by the killer?
Here, take Izzy!
Number 3. New hairdo. In I Triple Dog Dare You, Heather loses her hair after a challenge gone wrong. And if you know Heather, you know this is a big deal. She's all about vanity after all. When the razor ends up landing on her head, it doesn't just give her a bad hairdo, it leaves her with clumps and mismatched patches of hair. However, in the next episode, the very last episode really, she appears to have a fully shaven head. The tufts are nowhere in sight. Maybe she should have threatened to sue the show over that instead of her elimination.
Nice rug.
Oh, shut it. Stop touching my hair, crazy girl.
Number 4. Civilization. A huge realization happens in this Total Drama Island finale, but it comes at the cost of continuity or maybe even an animation error. Courtney shockingly discovers that the only thing that separates the island and civilization is a wall. However, for the entirety of the season, the show would have bird's-eye view shots of the island, and beyond that, never featured a wall or any form of civilization.
We're starving over here! Ow!
Number 5. Backstabbing for beginners. Heather has proved time and time again that she's someone who cannot be trusted.
I can play these losers like a violin.
And Trent of all characters should know this.
Heather, what's wrong?
Nothing.
No, tell me.
However, in the episode Search and Do Not Destroy, he throws all of that out the window. Or at least the writers did. Because he believes Heather's antics down by the lake, it not only destroys his relationship with Gwen, but gets him eliminated from the game. Much to the delight of Heather, who had it all planned, of course.
Love to stick around, but it's been a long day and I'm gonna hit the showers.
Number 6. Unclear timeline.
What are you all staring at?
You!
The opening moments of the Total Drama Action premiere, Monster Cash, features a confession from Justin. However, the terms he uses are a little confusing.
And this year, I'm in it to win it.
We find out in this episode that the time jump between this season and the last is only 2 days. But in Justin's confessional, he's using terms like last year in reference to the previous season. Number 7. Something smells cheesy. As all the lactose-intolerant viewers out there know, eating any type of dairy, including cheese, isn't a fun time.
I just went to Chef's Kitchen where I found this cheese.
However, the writers of Total Drama Action apparently don't, or at least forgot when writing this episode. In the episode Flew Over the Cuckoos, we find out that LaShawna is lactose intolerant.
Aren't you having any, LaShawna?
But flash forward to the episode Superhero ID, and there's a shot of her enjoying some cheese with Lindsay and Beth.
Girl, this Gouda is amazing.
Do you think this was a joke left for dedicated fans, or did the writers just forget what was canon?
No way they'd actually let somebody up and die in here. Am I right?
Number 8. Incorrect bios. Hearing some of the contestants' bios when they're first introduced is pretty entertaining, and a fun fact included in Owen's official bio is that he's the youngest of 3 kids in his family. But in the episode The Aftermath 3, we see a flashback of Owen as a child with his family, and in the flashback, he's the oldest. Number 9. Lawsuit perks. Courtney makes her big return to Total Drama Action after winning a lawsuit against the show in the previous season.
Isn't anyone glad to see me?
And winning that lawsuit came with some perks, like not being able to be eliminated in certain circumstances.
That's so not fair!
Care to take that up with our legal department, Beth?
It's also confirmed in 1 million bucks BC that one of these perks included having access to her own private bathroom.
Thanks to Courtney's lawsuit, she'll be playing by a different set of rules and her own private bathroom.
So then why in the episode Get a Clue was she seen using the communal one? Something doesn't add up. Number 10. Switching emotion. From the start, Lashana was never the biggest fan of Duncan, mostly because she hated the way he treated Harold. But there's one point in the season where the duo is upset at her. However, after her epic cheer, they decide to forgive her and save her from elimination.
I know Lashana dissed us.
Sure, Lashana called me deluded.
But that cheer, well,
But in the next episode, Dial In for Merger, they're back to hating her, as if the writers forgot the ending of the previous episode. Number 11. It's like it never happened. Alejandro saunters into the Celebrity Manhunt's Total Drama Action Reunion special like he owns the place. In other words, he wasn't the nicest, at all, to other characters he met. However, when we see him again in the first episode of World Tour, things are different and now canonically accurate. First, he's acting completely different and kind to everyone. And second, they're all acting as if they'd never met him before. Was the reunion not meant to be canon in the entire Total Drama universe? Number 12. Hair trouble. It seems like Total Drama creators just couldn't keep the continuity rolling when it comes to Heather's hair. When Heather was at Camp Wawanakwa, she had long hair. Even in a ponytail, you could tell. But in the episode Aftermath, Bridgette Over Troubled Water, when we see Harold's footage from Camp Wawanakwa, her hair is noticeably shorter than it's supposed to be in the first season. Number 13. Flirting or no flirting. It's very in character for Heather to do anything to get what she wants. So if you questioned Alejandro's claims in the episode Picnic at Hanging Dork that she never used flirting as a tactic during filming, you're right. It must have slipped the writers' minds that the reason Heather was kicked off of the first season was for flirting with Trent and Duncan. Or maybe they were trying to be ironic. Number 14. Sharky situation. Having a fear of sharks is totally valid. In fact, I think it's safe to say most people fear sharks in some capacity. Except for Courtney. In the previous season, Courtney finds herself neck deep in a fight with 3 sharks, but in the episode Niagara Brawls, Courtney expresses how deathly afraid of them she is.
Shark! No, I'm like a buffet to them.
Was the shark brawl completely forgotten? Or is the shark fight what caused her fear to develop? Number 15. Explosion commotion. In the opening moments of Planes, Trains, and Hot Airmobiles, we get the very dramatic and heartwarming scene of Cody digging Sierra out of the plane rubble caused by the explosion. But in the episode before, when the explosion happens, we immediately see her sitting on the ground perfectly fine. Did they decide to include the digging after the first episode was written? Maybe it was for dramatic effect. What did you think of these Total Drama mistakes? Do you think some of them could have been included purposely? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching The Things Animated.